Hello Libra, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and we are doing July readings today. I've got the Unfolding Path Tarot here, and we are also going to do a one card pull from the Sweet Blossom Lenormand as a sort of an oracle card framing device. Wow, a lot of people cards in your reading. Okay. It looks like a social July. Okay. Oops, sorry, I should do that on camera. I got a little excited looking at your tarot. Okay, let's see. And we've got the Tower. Okay, so the Tower in Lenormand is different from the Tower in the Tarot. And the Tower in Lenormand is actually sort of about institutions. It is typically a more of a slower or a more stable card, almost the opposite, I would say, of the Tower in the Tarot. And it can point to your place of work, or it can point to dealings with things like your banking institutions or your financial sort of planning, legacies, but there's more of a sort of a foundation or stability or slower moving energy or sort of foundational institutions. Sometimes this has to do with, this is going to sound crazy, but tall people or and I mention that because we do see we've got at least 3 people cards, and the Emperor could arguably be a person card too, although sometimes the Emperor is kind of a mode for you to employ. The Tower can also be speaking to your legacy, and we have a legacy card here in the Ten of Pentacles. So let's go through the tarot and see if we can suss out more how to identify the context for you in which the Tower plays. But what we do have is some social pieces and some money pieces and sort of business or project pieces, which do correlate to the Tower being financial or business, or your sort of entrepreneurial possibly trajectory. Take that as it resonates for you. I should also say, I forgot to do that little preamble, right? This is a general reading for a general audience of Librans. So you'll have to take what applies for you in your life and leave the rest that doesn't resonate as much for another Libra or another day. I invite you to check out the videos for all of your major astrological placements, your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, if you know it. And let's get back into it. So starting with your cover card here, your Emperor. Now that is about your boss energy, having a project or an entrepreneurial endeavor, or needing to see a vision succeed, a vision implemented, bringing something 3D into the world. Now, this could be a business thing or a career thing, right? Feeling very motivated to bring a job or a career or a entrepreneurial endeavor into the world. But it could also be something like planning your wedding, or helping your sister with her wedding, something like that. Writing the great American novel or Canadian novel as it applies. It could be something, a creative project like that. It could also be planning maybe going back to school or your master's thesis, anything where you have a really strong need to create your vision, bring something that you and only you can bring into the world. A vision, a plan, a project, a career trajectory. Now, this is paired with the Two of Pentacles, which is the card of juggling. Ooh, this is not in great focus, so that's a little better. Typically, the Two of Pentacles comes up in the scenario where we're juggling a couple of opportunities. So this could be the scenario where you have a day job, but you're going to school at night for this other thing that you want to be bringing into the world. Or you have a day job while you're pursuing your rock star career, something like that. But the Emperor has you, even though, Libra, you're such a lovely and beautiful person, no matter your gender or expression, the Emperor shows up as this really tough, traditionally male guy, because there's this strength of this force of nature that this vision, this project, whatever it is you're working on, must come through. Even if you're usually a lovely and delightful and delicate person in real life, this vision, this project must come through, even as you're perhaps juggling a few other things. Now, this does tell us that with your strength of character, with your ability to juggle a few maybe jobs or other projects, you will see this manifest. This thing that you're working on must come through. And we see in the next column here's where we have a couple of people cards, right? Now we have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Typically the Queen of Wands is our diva. She is beautiful and magnetic and sexy and charming, and this may be, you may recognize yourself in this card, or this may be a bestie, a friend, someone who is helping you with maybe your project, maybe a supporter. This could even be, if this is a creative endeavor or something that you're working on, she could be a director. She could be an actor. There is she is the diva of the tarot, so there is that aspect to her. But she also has a good head for leadership. She could be a teacher, a litigator. She does not typically mind being in front of an audience or sharing her opinions, sharing her ideas. She does tend to inspire an audience or a following. So if this is not an aspect of you or an aspect for you to embody, this is someone that could help you with that charm piece, or build your audience, build that following, should you need that for your project, whatever it is you're working on. Or this could be the person that gives you that job, or casts you in that role, or whatever that next piece. Take it as it applies in your situation. Now, we have a sort of similar energy here in the Knight of Swords, in that this is a fast-moving energy. This Knight of Swords typically comes with an invitation, with a message, with some piece that you are going to be able to take action on. The Knight of Swords might come as an actual person. And this would typically be someone who might be a peer or possibly younger than you. He might be a charmer in terms of, his words, but he's good at spinning a yarn, but not in the same way as the Queen. His words, he's good at social media, right? But he's not doesn't have the same warmth or depth as the Queen, or the same maturity as the Queen. He's kind of in and out, and here today, gone tomorrow. So if he comes in with an opportunity, I would jump on it quickly. Do read the fine print, but it might be a fleeting opportunity. It might be an online opportunity, a collab, something like that. This could be someone who has a great skill with branding or helping with your social media campaigns, trimming the fat from any email communications. It does have more of a feel of a colleague or peer with editing insights, let's put it that way. Now, in the final column, we have something really fun here. We have the Ten of Pentacles, which I had touched on briefly when we talked about the Tower. The Ten of Pentacles can be a card that speaks to legacies. Tens in the tarot, you may know, speak to endings and beginnings. So there can be a sort of a close of a chapter and the start of a new chapter. That can happen, when you maybe end one job and start a new job, or maybe leave one department to move to another department, or it can be the kind of thing where you close out one maybe school year and start planning for the next school year, something like that. Sometimes it can happen in a family business. Families are often featured prominently. Let's take a look at this. It's so cute. In a family business, when sort of the keys to the business are passed from one generation to the next. It can be that sort of legacy. It can be the kind of thing where you take over for a family property. You take over the. This happened in my family. I inherited my uncle's car. My first car when I was learning to drive was actually I inherited it from my uncle. But it can be legacies in that way. But pentacles are the suit of resources, money, career, stability, that sort of thing. Anything that has to do with, your home, your family, your stuff, where you live, your career, your jobs. And tens are closing out one cycle or the end of one chapter, and that always augurs in sort of a new beginning. So with this, we can also have celebrations. When you transition, like that family business, there can be a celebration. Or when you close out the school year, there can be those celebrations. With this, there could also be even a wedding or a family reunion, something like that. Excuse me. Now, paired with this, we have the King of Cups. Now, this would be a mature individual who is very comfortable with his emotions. He would have a high EQ, high emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. This could be someone like a therapist, a romantic partner, a healthy romantic partner. It doesn't have to be male in expression, but it could be. And depending on your circumstances, this could be someone like your business partner in this, business that's transferring from family or what have you. This could be someone that is, like I said, like a therapist that is supporting you as you transition whatever this is in your circumstance. It could be something like a financial planner as well, or just a friend or lover who is supportive. What's so interesting about your reading, Libra, is we see a couple of cards that are about the shifts in terms of some sort of financial or career trajectory, an improvement or a growth or a turnover in that way in these cards, and a conscious effort on your part to make that transition, starting with the Emperor, right? And then we have support from a lot of people who love you in your life, or maybe just friends or colleague or employee possibly in this night. And it really brings about a sense of stability, or perhaps it's your bank is also supporting you as you make this change or this turnover. But in any case, it's a positive shift or a positive move. And even if you're still, in transition, even if this is a multi-phase project and you're still, only in phase 2 or phase 3 by the end of July, it still feels like progress is being made and you have a great support system around you. And if you needed to hear, whether or not you should go for it, this is a yes. So I hope that's helpful, Libra. And I hope you do take time to enjoy your family or your chosen family or your support team in July. There should be some moments of taking a little time out, despite the fact that it looks like you're juggling some. I hope you do take some time to enjoy all the love and support in your life. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for dropping by. If you enjoyed this reading, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, take good care. Bye for now.